Welcome to the heat. Uh, welcome to the heat. เคยว่าวโนเด
เอ
น้อง
อลอง
ลำโน
ลอง
เด
เด้อลองลำเด้อ
พี่ใหญ่พี่น้อยพี่ดำพี่แหลกเคยว่าวโนเดซื่อๆพี่แตะ
Yeah. Okay, you made it to the season
know.
2 Heestorming session. You know where I just came from is I just came from doing yoga with Sudavon at her place.
What are you doing?
Good. Like trying to get this yoga thing off the ground. So we were doing it, and her roommate has a dog, and she was like laying on her back, like spread open. And I was like, yo, you free me. You know, like this dog is like, see me. And then Sudavon was like, yo, you and Noy's podcast with me. I'm just like, yo, it's so therapeutic. It's so revolutionary. We're just like learning so much just from like talking about it. And then we started explaining the phrases to her roommates. They're just like, wow. She's like, they're just like, that's how y'all talk. I'm like, yeah, especially like out in the Bonnock, like out in the village.
I mean, I thought it was normal. Like when my mom talk. Well, ภาษาลาว how they make those expressions, you know. This is a good exercise.
We get to hear it authentically. Maybe we could talk about season 1, like kind of reflect. Like,
Let's reflect.
yeah, so we had 6 episodes.
Let's see. So the first episode was us just naming the he.
Yeah.
The first few episodes were very short, so they were really just kind of chopping up our first segment.
Yes, which was also like a stylistic thing. I
Mhm.
feel like I try to change by the end of,
And then,
because I was
yeah.
like, I think I was over editing the he at first.
Yeah.
And then I realized, I was like, oh, you just need to let the he breathe. You
Just
know what
let
I
it flow.
mean? Let it
Mhm.
flow. Like the silences, the spacing is
Mhm.
like okay. I was like trying to make it like quick and
Yeah,
choppy.
and
I was rushing
Mhm.
the he.
Well, you learn sometimes we start off too fast and we're like, we don't need to go that fast.
We don't need to go that fast. And we're loud people. We don't go fast.
No, we don't.
We're slow. Sabai.
No.
Okay,
Well,
so
then
that,
we
yeah,
had-
that was the first episode. Do you remember what was episode 2?
Episode 1 was chopping it up, talking about the he. Was it the poem? Number
It
2?
was the poem.
Was the he poem.
The
Okay.
poem by Dr. Victoria Gill.
Yes. So should we start season 2 with interviews?
Tell me more.
We could talk about like how we want to start this. You know how we talked about, hey, episode 2 was her poem, right? Why not season 2, episode 2 be her interview?
Oh, yes.
Reflecting on season 1.
Uh-huh. Yes, I love that
Mhm.
idea. So she's one person that
Mhm.
we got to get on like a calendar day in the near future. I love that. Shit, we've interviewed your mom, kinda. Do you consider that an interview? It was like a gorilla.
Yeah, it was like she was trying to sleep and she's like, what?
Exactly, because it was like physically in person.
This is nice because I get to hear her talk and hear her expressions, and if I have it recorded forever, we take it for granted the way they talk and how special it is. The dialect.
Like my aunt in Lao, she sounds just like my grandma. I'm like, oh, I miss that.
I could never really say it like her. I mean, we could probably expand also on an interview with my mom and being intentional with our questions about something that we wanted to know about Noy's mom or Nisa's mom. Hey, how was Noy as a kid? How was Nisa as a kid? You know? Like,
Well,
sometimes I wonder, I never really asked her, like, how I was as a kid, you know? Like I
and the
think
answer that they give to your friends is surprising.
like, they're like, "Oh, you were fine," and then they go and talk shit about you.
They tell your friend your real name.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, her real name is Volkswagen. It's not Noy. But I've asked you this my entire life, and you said Noy was my real name."
That's so funny.
Oh, if you interview Noy's mom, Noy interviews Nisa's mom, it might come out different because they don't have to feel like they're accidentally offending you because they're talking to you, and they don't have to hold back
Yeah,
technically because
because 'cause you're curious. You're really asking with the intention of
yes, and
wanting
I'm
to know.
asking about you or you're asking about me, and we're not they could just honestly be comfortable with just the answer.
Mhm. Okay, so that's one question, right? Like, you wanna know what we were like as
Yeah, like,
kids.
like, I see how my daughter's like, and one day I'll embarrass her with that, but, like, how was I? Like, I have random memories of what I thought was Laos, but it was actually the refugee camp, you know? So,
How old were you in when you were in the camps?
a couple years old. We were
Uh-huh.
in the camp, and I didn't even realize this till I got older that we had actually been in the camp for about a year.
It's wild how those experiences get imprinted into our body, and then decades later, you'll be like, "Oh, what? That's what happened."
Mhm.
It's
Like,
so
I actually
crazy.
think that I don't have memories of crossing the river, and
They drugged you?
they didn't drug me, but they were shooting at our
Yeah.
so my mom thought I would remember that because it was so traumatic. I didn't, but I remember when I was little, I was pooping and there were worms coming out of my butt.
Oh.
Like, why are there worms in my poop?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I had parasites,
Mhm. Mm.
and what I thought was louse, I think it couldn't have been louse.
You were even younger
Any
then.
younger, I wouldn't remember,
So
but when
where were you born?
in, Vientiane.
In Vientiane.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay. So we want to ask our moms how each of us were as
Mhm,
kids and like connect it to like how you're raising like a little Hinoi.
mhm.
Okay. What
Well,
else? What else would we want to ask our moms?
you can ask hard questions if you choose to.
Okay, can I tell you a quick story that could maybe turn into a question?
Sure, tell me.
So remember, I was in Laos recently with my mom again. So just being in the motherland, which is like a wild experience unto itself. But my mom was saying like crazy shit. Cause my mom is like into that respectability. She's like hyper feminine. She's all about that Malaya. And we were walking around somewhere and I brought up our podcast. And then my mom was like, "Do you know the difference between a Lao he and an American he?"
Okay, our he is more like a fat cat,
Who? Wait,
Am
when
I
you say we, who are you say who's the we?
we is the Asian, the Kunlao, like
Okay.
helping fat cat. Like we can't wear them little tiny things in our front because man tui pot.
Man, why?
I don't know why.
What's No, it's not genetics. It's an environmental
Oh,
factor because
it's
they
environmental. Okay.
we actually as first generation might have the other kind of he.
Oh, girl, that's not my he. My he is from Mung Lao. Like I was born in Mung Lao
Okay,
he.
maybe
Like
because you were a little older than me, but it's because of the diaper. So my mom said like the American he, because you wear the diaper, it like makes your he like elongated shape wise, whereas
no,
The Lao he man mo.
gonna respectfully disagree. I've heard stuff like this from other Asian who said that our cat is too fat for those things. So it maybe just be genetic, maybe not the diaper.
It's obviously when people say shit like that, there it's a
Yeah,
generalization.
yeah, yes. So my thought is, I do think that some Asians don't have it. I think that you just have you're very long and slender. It could just be genetically you're not, you know, you're not the fat cat.
I think we're talking about different parts of the he. I'm thinking more of like the lips, right? Like the part that's like
Mhm.
really like that's
So
really in the
I'm
all you're talking
okay.
about
So
like the fat around the
oh, That around that part,
Yeah,
yes.
no, I'm talking about the lips.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm mostly talking about the fat cat that hangs out.
Yeah, because you're talking about, like, underwear and things like that. And I'm talking about the lip, which is, like,
Mhm.
all up in the diaper, pressed
Yeah.
against that.
Okay, that's interesting. I have not heard that one.
That was just one of
Yep.
the things that my mom
Yeah, that's interesting coming out of your mom's mouth, though.
it was very interesting that she wanted to tell
Mhm.
me that at that moment.
Mhm.
So, that could turn into a question, like, "Hey, do you know the difference? Have you heard of this?"
Yeah, I could see that. And it could
Okay.
also be, turned into a question in itself, like, "Do y'all got a fat cat?"
Yeah. How would you describe what your
Mm,
knee looks like?
yeah.
Man momo ba?
Extra.
Molai?
Man crave.
Okay, we have
That's one.
maybe 2 questions.
Mhm.
I already asked him, like, what does "Pombovi Hibolang" mean?
Oh, yeah, we know what that means.
Is
That's
there any
like
other what's another phrase? I feel like we need to maybe think of some other phrases.
see, I was hoping you came back from Laos with a whole bunch of phrases that you heard and were like, "Oh, I ain't never heard that one before," or "I never heard that one before." I was because I do see that being a Lao American, I don't know if some of these phrases that I'm talking about just were more Lao American than they actually were Lao, or if they were technically outdated because that was the Lao that we had at the time when we spoke it. But since we weren't in Laos, we weren't updated on the new.
Like I told you, "Pombovi Hibolang," I took that shit to them.
That's awesome.
That's deeply cultural.
That I'm glad to know that.
They thought it was hilarious that I knew because they're like,
Mhm.
"Oh, they don't know what the fuck we talk about over here. What parts of our culture, like, survive the displacement?"
Ooh, survive, man. My mom, she would rip one in me all the time. At least be home now. I'm like, I
You
took a
look a
shower.
mess.
I'm like, I took a shower the other day.
Yeah. Okay, are there what other phrases are there?
Kumbavihiwala.
There's, like I mean, is this a phrase? "Ihilabut"? I feel like
Um,
that's a Lao American phrase because I don't think they say that shit in Lao.
but where did it come from?
It
Because
came
all the
from
Lao American.
Lobster. "Juba ay Lobster na."
Yeah, but before Louster, I knew what Hilabut was. So when I listened to Louster, it was just like furthering what I already knew. So at the time, like people said it. They said he like so those were he kill and he labut were very common.
Okay, so let me ask you, what is "Ihilabut"?
Okay, from what I understood, ihi labut, it does not mean the pussy is bomb. That somebody translated that. It does not mean that.
That's how I want it to be.
That is not what it means. It
Okay,
means
well
your
then say more.
pussy exploded, literally. Your pussy is so I don't
Peel,
know
it's
if like,
peel.
because remember, we were so little, like, we didn't understand the true meaning of these things, but my theory, and this is just my theory, is that you are so loose, like, your shit exploded, like, referencing back to how hoey you are, right?
There's, like, there's no, like, pleasure analysis, like, "Oh, damn, she be coming all the time."
No, no, it did not mean that at all. Because they were calling us Gila Bud long before the Gila Bud song came out, you know? Like, we were Gila Bud, Hio, Hinan, like, and when the song came out, it made it seem more like it was your pussy is the bomb, like, it was hard for me to interpret because I'm
Well,
like, it
because that
doesn't
phrase was coming into popularity.
they kind of made the meaning different in the American aspect, but that wasn't how I understood Gila Bud. Like, if they called you Gila Bud, it wasn't a good thing any more than calling you Hio was a good thing. Hio, Gila Bud.
I think that's another interview that we gotta do.
Yeah, so we gotta ask him.
Yeah, we gotta get him on the show.
I think he speaks Lao pretty good. He should be able to, like,
Dude, he raps in Lao, bitch.
speak Lao really good.
He's a Lao
Like,
American artist.
he's this age group that still retains the language, you know?
Right. And I wonder, like, how he would reflect on that song, like, what is it, like,
Now,
30 years later?
well, it was a long ass time. He came to
30, maybe, like, 25 years, right? It's, like,
yeah.
the late 90s 'cause it was
Oh,
definitely something that I was downloading on the internet,
mhm.
MP3s that took, like, hours.
I was like, "Oh, yeah, I need a butt." I was laughing because, how I understand it, it's funny. And then I'm like but I'm young at the same time, so I'm like, "Wait a minute,
I
what is
know,
going?"
and who are you supposed to ask, grandma? I was listening to that shit with my grandma, 'cause I did have to ask her what some of them things meant. I didn't ask her about, like, the he stuff. I didn't ask about Gila, but I just acted like I knew, like you. And now at 40, I'm having an existential crisis.
Wait a minute, let me see. I'm just curious myself.
Our he search is so organic. I freaking love it.
We're just like I'm like, "It did not mean what I thought." I'm like, he's not saying it what I think." Like, I'm a kid, right? I'm like, "He's about." All these kids were like, "So funny." And then I was like, "Wait a minute."
Okay, hold on. Let me just show you this right quick. You see this? This is his page. Laos look what it says as the translation.
Yeah, I don't recall it meaning that. I can see how they took that American wide, well, explosion means bomb.
We should listen to the song?
Yeah. Okay, but let's play this.
What are you thinking? What has that listening to that illuminated for you in terms of what we were talking about and, like, the
I
meaning?
mean, the meaning still to me is what I thought it was, which is a hoe, who's he, but he's so big because he's so hoey. That's my interpretation still. I would love to hear the actual, but so when I heard the song, I was like, oh, oh, but I could see it turn into that because a hoe is a good thing for a guy. Like, I don't know,
Right, like,
right?
is there an equivalent of Gila butt? Like, that might
Swiss,
be Swiss cheese dick.
Swiss cheese?
You ever heard that phrase? Like,
No.
you got, like, gonorrhea or, like, the clap or something.
No.
Yeah, it
Well,
doesn't hit like a Gila butt. Hum now.
you know what? We can't say ham, okay? Naman wow din. We have to say koi, okay? Koi man now, woman ham. Oh,
Oh,
wow.
that's
What?
right, and they're different. We're talking the balls versus the dick.
Yeah.
Koi now.
Koi. You see, like, they haven't made nothing up. So we need to
No.
make something up to make it sound
Right.
like just as bad as
Um,
Stephen A.
something with, like, fish.
The most hurtful thing you can possibly say to them is, "Ew, but Koi Noi." Like, Koi
Yeah.
Noi for a penis, but a he could have, like, a whole bunch of stuff.
Mhm.
We could move on from that.
I learned a whole lot. We'll circle back around.
We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
So interviews with mom, and then there was an episode on my fertility, my heatility.
2,
You
2
know
episodes.
Yeah. I mean, there were a lot more people listening to that than admitted to it, you know?
Wait, what do you mean? They
Like,
was, like, hitting you up for the deets?
anybody actually reached out to me regarding that, you know? Like, remember
Oh,
how I was
wow.
saying, "Oh, like, I hadn't spoken to her since a while," and the one thing that she responded to was she said I had listened to episodes, And I was like, "Hey, look, we got, like." I'm sure there are other women that were curious because we're like, "Lao," and I think that was a topic that touches, not just Lao, but it's like, we're getting to that age. We're immigrants, there's this, "Oh, you're single, you should have a kid and be married by now." And then the actual topic of fertility, which our parents don't exactly say, "Hey, you should," like,
Yeah, they don't
now
even
that
know
I
where to
know more
start.
than yeah, now that I know more than before, I've had people ask me, "Hey, remember you told me you got your your eggs frozen. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? And I think that's what's really great about it because it's like I'm giving an opportunity to talk to people I don't know about, like, hey, have you looked into your fertility? I want
Mhm.
kids. And I'm not saying that this is the right or wrong way because I've heard of someone who did freeze her eggs and I don't know why. I didn't ask more, I didn't get into detail, but none of her eggs were viable
Huh.
when she had them tried to use them. Because I thought the vitrification process was supposed to make it so that a majority of your eggs survive when they defrost it. Like, because of the new procedure, it was supposed to be safer so that you can, like, if I have 10 eggs left, I should be able to use a few. And she said she wasn't able to use any. So, like, why did they tell me it would at least pass the vitrification? Like, I never even tried to use my eggs to see what would happen.
Right.
So if more people are not, their eggs are not surviving the defrost process. So that was one person, but like I'm curious about who else froze them and did they use them? Did anything become of it? You know, but
Yeah.
people freeze their embryos. That's very common, but freezing your eggs, I would love to. I'm going to do some more research on that data, just because I'm curious.
Yeah.
Isn't removed from the NIH website, which a lot of stuff was anything with the word women,
That's
diversity,
wild, dude.
anything with a flagged name from the US government has been removed.
Some of the words are ridiculous.
Like, we're supposed to use
Advocate.
woman. Woman.
Right. You told us
We
that
have
we have to be men or women. So,
Yeah, and plus some organs are only specific to women or men. But I think it would be nice though. It's like to kind of know more and like say to people like, hey, you may be just 30, but OBGY, you can ask your gynecologist, hey, what's my AMH levels? Does it look good? Do I need to be worried at my age? And it's ironic because it's like they don't really just give it to you. You have to ask for it.
they don't tell you anything. They're so not transparent.
Mhm.
Yeah. I still haven't gotten my IUD out. I'm supposed to get it out next
Did
week.
they? But you said they couldn't find it, right?
Yeah, that's why I have to go to like a specialist and it's going to be a little surgical procedure. Apparently my cervix is thick. My
It's what?
cervix is thick. มัน thick มันหนาฮีกูมันน้อย มันมันแนะมันแน้นฮีกูมันแน้นพอว่า cervix เฮามันหนา so I have to go get surgery and they're gonna dig out the little IUD.
I told you during my OB clinical, baby came out holding the IUD, like, they're supposed to work. So but then we have these incidents where they're called the IUD babies.
That's so funny.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, that was kind of cool for, a first experience for me. Now I'm in peace. So I got a
Oh.
baby and I take care of babies now.
Oh.
Yeah. It's very different.
Oh.
But let's see. Yeah, like I kind of thought that was a good topic that, even when I talk to other women, the topic comes up a lot. Like people ask me. I've had a lot of people ask me, you know. I
Yeah.
just can't speak it to it in terms of actually using it and stuff.
You can
You
only
know.
speak to what you did and your process doing it, but then you're like, "Oh, but I had a naturally conceived baby."
And
Twice.
it's very different after 40, you have to think about like being healthier because you have to live longer. You desire to live longer to see your kid get older, you know, to see maybe get a grandkid. I don't know. Like I
Mhm.
had her at 45, right? When she's 45, I'll be 90.
That's wild. I'm gonna
Okay.
pause this because I don't wanna lose any great he talk
We're expanding on what we talked about during season 1.
yeah, he expansion.
Yeah. Heespansion.
Heespansion?
Well, y'all, well, y'all.
Like your mom said, not too serious.
One moment not too serious joking
he จก คือแบบ
แม่เว้าเว้า joking ซื่อๆ you know
I wanna hear her say that, like, he is not serious. We got the queen he's on deck.
Queen He
We hope you enjoyed listening to the He censored feminist musings from the minds of Noy Munduang and Sunisa Nuansi. We created the space to vaulin namkan, but also to look and listen critically to our mother cultures and traditions. We're starting by reclaiming the He. Kapchay Lailai, Pinong, and big ups to all our friends and fam for going on this healing journey with us.